Hey, what's up, my great smelling people? So, some summer bangers. I've got a list here that's sure to fit every possible scenario that you're going to be doing this summer when the weather is scorching. So, if you want to know what I think you should be spraying, stick around. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. If an unbiased opinion from an average lad is what you're after, then you've come to the right place.
You're welcome to come on over.
So, summer is here pretty much. It feels like it is in the UK, even though it officially hasn't started yet. It's really warm outside today. In fact, what am I doing? I'm just stuck inside, speaking to you lot. But yeah, what I've tried to do here in this list, it might say top 10 on the thumbnail. That's just for the algorithm. I've got 11.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
Sorry. Yeah, I'm in a good mood today, can you tell? Yeah, I've got 11 scents. And what I've tried to do is I've sort of tried to go after a variety of scent profiles. There might be some crossovers here and there, but I've sort of tried to pick some that are, in my opinion, mostly for casual wear. And then I've got a chunk of what I would consider versatile fragrances. And then some that maybe lean a bit formal, you know, for summer weddings or whatever you might be doing that requires you to dress up a little bit, yeah? Of course, all of these are interchangeable. You can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. You can even spray the most skankiest of oud in 35-degree heat and stink everybody out and be that kind of wanker.
That's too much cologne.
But if a wanker you want to be, then go ahead.
Wanker.
But I can't tell you what to wear. I can only recommend what to wear. So, without further ado, let's get into my 11. So let's discuss the casual fragrances first. I've got 3 here. And first of all, I want to touch on this. Dior Homme Cologne. Summer is the only time I'll reach for this. And look at that. I haven't even really wore it yet. I got it in the winter months just because there was a really good offer on. Wow. This, like the frosted glass sort of gives you the clue as to how this is going to behave when you spray. It's an icy, although there's no cooling aroma chemicals or anything, but it feels like an iced lemonade. It is very citrusy with the lemon. I've just sprayed it on, by the way. Citrus and musks. Yeah, that's what you get. A musky citrus. And it does smell like lemonade. It doesn't perform great. It really doesn't.
Telling us that shit is weak.
I know shit is weak, but you know.
But you know, you can reapply. It's fantastic though. Like, if it wasn't such a really good fragrance, then you would sort of write it off because of its pure performance. But I don't think you could make something smell like this and then perform well without sacrificing something or adding something that takes away from its overall personality and behavior. It's super fresh, and when it's absolutely scorching outside, or even when you're fresh out of the shower on a summer's evening, because it doesn't last long, you know, this can be something that you would just enjoy for the first couple of hours after you get out of the shower, because it's ideal for that. It's that sort of bright, fresh, and almost cooling. Like I say, there's no cooling aroma chemical or anything in there that would make you feel chilled in the natural sense, you know, but it does. It's got that sort of behavior with it. Fantastic. I would reserve this for the hottest of days, and when you do reach for it, it'll feel like nothing else will do. So good. Yeah. Ice lemonade and musk. Dior Homme Cologne. fantastic. Now, something else that is actually quite similar, but I couldn't leave it out. I really couldn't leave it out. My second versatile option, Eau Givre. You might notice, those of you that watch all my videos, that there's a little bit more juice in this bottle now. It's a refillable bottle, and I managed to get some decants off someone, so I topped it up. This, now it's not lemon, I think it's citron, which is sort of like a multifaceted citrus, but it smells more like grapefruit to me, like an orangey grapefruit. Yeah, with elements of lemon. Oh, wow. Yeah. It is Terre d'Hermes, but much fresher. Much fresher. I can't not. Some compare Perseus from Parfums de Marly to this. I can see that, really. I can. It's not the same. I do prefer Perseus, if I'm honest. And it's got a much more interesting dry down, and it's stronger, you know. But to be honest, I actually prefer the opening to this. It affects you in the same sort of way as Dior Cologne. But I would say that this would be more suitable for days that aren't as hot as well, you know, although you could wear it when it's absolutely screaming. It's fresh citrus, woody, musky. Oh, it's really good though. I couldn't leave it out. I couldn't leave it out of a summer list. Comparing the two, I would say that smells cleaner and crisper and airier, whereas this smells sharper, rindier, more bitter, and stronger. But both fantastic options for the high heat. And definitely more for casual wear. Those two fragrances, you can imagine shorts, sliders, white polo shirt, sort of like kicking about around the pool, or, you know, even just like walking about, you know, if you're going on holiday or at home in nothing but shorts in the back garden on a sun lounger, you know, that sort of really intense high heat and casual settings. Really ideal for both of those fragrances. Yeah. My third and final recommendation for casual settings and casual wear, a new acquisition, Boss Bottle Bold Citrus. Now, those of you that's seen my review on this a month or so back, maybe even 2 months ago, I managed to get this ahead of time. It's only really making its way into mainstream stores and websites now. I managed to get it from France ahead of time. This is much better now. Honestly, I wore it the other day because I was putting a list together, and I sprayed it on my hand, and I was like, this isn't how I remembered it.
That's not how I remember it.
It's much greener now. There's still got that beautiful opening. Beautiful. I'm going to make it my scent of the day, even though I've already got stuff sprayed on. Where's the nozzle gone? It's like, oh God, that opening is fantastic. I think it smells a bit limey, but it's bergamot. But I smell it like lime. Now, bergamot, you can come across in a multitude of ways, but to me, it's got that sort of really rindy lime smell. And you've got woods and patchouli in here. As it settles down, you would be forgiven for thinking there's sandalwood in this, because the woods come over a bit creamy.
Very creamy.
Like a blonde wood, do you know what I mean? Oh God, this is such a surprise now. I liked it when I first smelled it, but I did feel a bit let down because of the Boss Bottle line has been killing it lately. Absolutely killing it.
And frankly, killing it lately.
The previous 3 releases before this, even Triumph Elixir, which wasn't received as well, I think all of them really, really good. And there was, you know, they sort of had a common theme. There was resins of some sort, you know, frankincense and myrrh. Patchouli was an ever-present note in the previous 3, and again in this one too. So when it was announced, and I had a basic understanding of what it was going to be like, or at least I thought I did, I was hyped, you know what I mean? Wow, they're adding a freshie to the line. And I did like it when I first tried it, but it was a bit underwhelming. It wasn't really bold, in my opinion, but I think it is now. Like, the longevity is still around about the same, but, you know, around about 6 hours, but it's more noticeable for longer in a wider, more reaching scent bubble, you know. That's just me. And I don't know if that's because it's warmer outside the environment and it's making it behave like that. So there's that caveat to take into consideration, because it was released when it was still pretty cold outside, but now it's not, and it just all of a sudden has come alive. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Guys, get your nose on it if you can. If you want to blind buy it, I'm not going to advocate that, but if you do want to blind buy it, then go right ahead. But I would say that get your skates on, because apparently this is a limited edition release.
Careful there, it's a limited edition.
But it doesn't have to get my thumbs up. Boss Bottle Bold Citrus. Now then, for the versatile scents, I've tried to include more of them, and you'll notice that maybe they predominantly are the more expensive ones. But I figured if I was going to include niche, I wanted to include a mixture of price ranges. And if I was going to include niche, then I wanted the niche to be versatile, because you want to get the most out of them. So that was my thought process behind this. You know, the more affordable ones. Now I know that they're all designer and they maybe aren't the cheapest, you know, but I'll probably do a summer cheapies list. That was about that, yeah. So the first of the versatile fragrances for summer, Soma Serene. Oh, that's so good. Oh,
Wow.
this has got a character of its own, and you'll see the notes and you'll think, it's going to smell like Tiger or Vibrato. No, it doesn't. It's got facets, shared facets, but you'll find that in a lot of freshies, because you know they tend to go for, you've either got your ultra juicy and sometimes tropical, really fruity scents, and then you've got your citric and sort of woody, like sometimes musky scents, and then you've got your bright and aromatic fougères that have characteristics of being fresh, you know what I mean? And those are often the ones that you would say are signature scent worthy, because they've often got facets about them that would make them appropriate for year-round use. I think this would be too, to be honest, because although it is very bright, very clean, very fresh and citric, it's got staying power. This, I think there's some ambroxan in it, and you've got bergamot, lime, mint up in the top, and then you've got some florals in the mid. I believe geraniums in there, and there's some basil, and you can really smell the basil, sandalwood, and I think the ambroxan that I mentioned is in the base there. Oh, wow, so good this, you know. It's almost got, now this might sound a bit strange, but it's almost got like a vegetable, like a vegetal sort of nuance. Now that'll probably come from the basil, but when you smell it, it smells separate from what you recognize as the basil. It's almost like something else. It's maybe a combination of the notes that are in there, but makes it interesting. So good. I was just very, very disappointed that this was the only available size when I went onto the website. But, you know, I mean, it'd probably take me a long, long time to get through that 30ml bottle. Guys, I keep saying this. I said it on my Soma Discovery review. You need to explore this house. You really do, because there's some, you know, hidden gems in amongst their lineup, and this is one of them. Really good for the summer. Really bright, slightly sweet, citric, clean, dry, musky, woody scent with some aromatic tendencies. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Soma Serene from the House of Soma. Now then, a summer list wouldn't be a summer list without this. One of my favourite things to spray when it's hot, and it's what got me into this house. Some people normally start with what I would consider to be the most popular, but I love this more. From Nishane, we have Wulong Cha. There's nothing like this. Some say that Louis Vuitton Imagination smells a little bit like it, but it doesn't. There's tea in this, just like there is in Imagination. And there's tea in other fragrances, but the mixture of the citrus, the tea, the florals, absolutely fantastic. Nothing like this. There's nothing like it. The mixture of citruses, bergamot and mandarin orange, along with, I think, regular orange. We've got the oolong tea, which gives it its name, Wulong Cha. Cha, I think, well, it is, isn't it? Cha means tea. This is fantastic. Nutmeg. It's absolutely fantastic, guys, honestly. It's not going to be for everyone. It is rather green.
It's so green.
In its smell. And I know the green scents are sort of making a bit of a resurgence now, and they're becoming a bit more popular. Trends come and go, don't they? But this still is something that I would definitely advocate sampling, which I always advocate sampling, but this, I do know that this is quite polarizing. But polarizing things are the best, aren't they? Because if you love them, you really love them. I love this. I wore it the other night. Went for a birthday meal with my daughter. It was her birthday, 22nd birthday. Her birthday, Megan. And I wore this. Now, before I go on to talk about the next fragrance, that was nearly a massive accident.
That was close.
How many of you actually get complimented on your fragrances? And I don't mean by the people who live with you, all right? Like, I see stories and claims that random people stopping people in the street and asking them what they're wearing, or you smell fantastic.
Are you wearing a new perfume today?
That has literally never happened to me, never. And it's not like I haven't got some beautiful smelling stuff, and a lot of them. So I just want to put it over to you guys, right? If you're watching these compliment hunter videos and you're buying the recommendations and you're not getting the reaction in which they're claiming that you might or probably will get, it's not that you've bought the wrong scent. It's that compliments are massively subjective. They're just as subjective as fragrances themselves. I mean, maybe no one's going to stop me because I'm a tattooed skinhead.
Scary, scary man.
And I don't look approachable, or I'm fugly.
I've been called ugly, fugly, pug fugly.
Who knows? You know, you have to look like an approachable person. The person paying you the compliment has to be somebody confident enough to approach you, to tell you. The environment that you're in, there's a lot of factors. And guys, like, I'm maybe speaking more towards my younger viewers here. Please, you're going to enjoy the art of perfumery far, far more if you start buying things for yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It really, really doesn't. It matters what you think. It sort of breaks my heart a little bit that there's people out there that really haven't even discovered what they like.
You're only doing things because everyone else is.
The types of scents that resonate the most with them, because when you do, you'll start to develop a relationship with scents, and that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm here because I gravitate towards things stir up emotions in me, and you know, people think, oh, it's just perfume, it's just fragrance. I think those people haven't found something that resonates with them yet, and hence why I'm talking right now. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like, you'll see, I just wanted people to be aware of why I don't speak about compliments. Oh, by the way, and you know, if I don't mention longevity, it's because it's average. Yeah. I mentioned that that's poor because it's poor, you know. What I should have said, but this is actually above average, and so is that. You know, you'll get solid 8 hours out of this, and the same with that. And for fresh fragrances, I think that, and when I say solid, I mean very noticeable. And for fresh fragrances, that's really good. So yeah, sorry. Let's move on. Now then, you've never seen me talk about Creed on this channel. It's not that I don't like Creed fragrances, I do. Especially this one, Aventus Cologne. Oh, I might actually prefer this to Aventus, you know. It smells so good. And because it's cologne, it's fresher, more suitable for the higher heat, you know. You could wear normal Aventus all year round, absolutely could. Even when it's blistering, it's not the real smoky sort of dark dry down that it used to be, even with these improved F batches that are available now. So, but this, do you know what? With everything that I'm smelling, I'm regretting spraying the bold citrus on, even though it's fantastic. I'm wanting to wear everything. Now, there's a lot of notes listed in here that I don't necessarily pick up, like spearmint and other things. But I definitely do get the bergamot, the mandarin, vetiver and patchouli, and the musk. It's so nice. So fresh. Like that opening with the bergamot and the mandarin orange, it's just beautiful. It's not the best performer.
Performed okay. I wanted to perform a lot better.
Not in terms of projection. Initial projection is fantastic, but it does rein in, you know, after an hour or two. It lasts, you know, lasts quite a while. You'll get 6 hours out of it. But in the high heat, you know, it behaves better. It might fade off quicker when it's, you know, it's obviously evaporating quicker, but when it's pumping off your skin, when you're hot, fantastic. It is expensive. Let's not dance around the fact it is expensive, and you might not think that freshies deserve a high price tag because they don't perform as well, and you know, the the actual composition of the fragrance isn't as complex. And, you know, I'm sort of in that camp. I am. You know, I do have some expensive freshies. I got this at a good deal. I got it as a trade, actually. I can't even remember what I swapped for it. But I don't regret getting it at all. I really don't. And if it was to run out, I would probably look to get another one. I really do enjoy it. And I think I might even enjoy it more than Aventus, you know. Doesn't even really particularly smell like Aventus. Well, it does, but...
Make your bloody mind up.
Certainly sets itself apart. Put it this way, if you smelt this, or a very, very similar scent profile to it, and it was intending to clone Aventus, you would say they've missed. Because although there is birch in it, it doesn't have the same sort of depth and the overall smooth and thicker character of original Aventus. Fresh, citric, really quite clean, woody, musky, bright. That's beautiful. Really, really nice. Forgot how much I liked it, actually. But for the high heat, and versatile, definitely, you know, because of those clean musks and, you know, the woodiness. You can smell its elevated scent. So I have no hesitations recommending this. Another versatile niche fragrance again, Creed Aventus Cologne. Now then, this seems, let me just check. Yeah, this is the only affordable fragrance that I've bundled into the versatile category, and it wouldn't be a summer list without it. It's probably my 5th bottle, and I've got so many fond memories tied to this scent. It was the first fragrance that my fiance bought me, and I absolutely love it. And for the summer, it's incredible. I'm talking about an iconic fragrance here, and those of you that are my sort of age will fondly remember it. Issey miyake, Leau dissey. I've got a hair on my nose. Where's that come from?
You don't have any hair.
Sorry. Wow. God, that's so nice. Do you know what? If Xerjoff brought out a freshie that smelled like this, you wouldn't blink twice, honestly. That yuzu, those florals and the woods. Yeah, I get so many great memories with this scent. Really, really good. And when I say versatile, it really is. Like, this isn't just a freshie, and it's got a cacophony of notes, florals, woods and citruses, and it just smells. It smells so more expensive than it actually is. Such a great scent. Now, I've heard some people say that it smells like perfume, like female perfume. I don't know what they're smoking. Yes, there's florals in there. And yeah, I would say if you smelt this on a woman, you wouldn't think that they are wearing a man's perfume per se. But it's not feminine. It smells fantastic, guys. Honestly, like, and you know, I've just spoke about some niche fragrances there. 3 so far in the versatile list. And although, like, I love Wulong Cha, I love all 3. You can get this at a fraction of the price. It's even a larger bottle than any of them. And I love it more. I do. Considerably more. And every time I spray it, I forget. Like, until I've sprayed it, I've forgotten how much I do. But it might be those scent memories. It takes me back to when I first met Claire, and you know, it was May when we started dating, And my birthday was in August. It was still hot. And she bought me this. And it was when she lived away as well. And I was going over to visit her and we were taking days out and things like that. And, you know, she'd bought me this for my birthday. And yeah, it's just, yeah. Isn't it funny that what scents do to you? The second I smell it, I'm transported back to those times. It's absolutely fantastic. Leau dissey pour homme. Fantastic, absolutely. I'll bang this drum until there's no breath left in me. This is a banger. Final recommendation for something that I would consider versatile for the summer. It's not really a list until one of them has made it. Talking about Parfums de Mali here. I'm talking about Sedley. It gets a lot of love, and rightfully so. It's that sort of fresh out of the shower sort of smell, but elevated. Some people say it smells like a minty Sprite, and they're right. You know, there's mint in here along with lemon and bergamot, I think. But there's more to it than that, and you notice that the longer it's on your skin. I only wish it performed better. People say they get great performance from it. I've never really experienced that myself. I get at least 6 hours of noticeable wear, but you know, I hear people saying, oh, it lasts all day, and it might, if you dig your nose in, you know, past that 6 hour mark, you'll probably still be able to smell it. But when I say longevity, I mean noticeable wear. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point in saying the fragrance lasts 12 hours if around about the 12-hour mark, you've got to really to smell it, you know what I mean? Nobody around you is coming over and doing that to you, are they? Like, I mark longevity of when you can still smell it when you're just going about your business still, you know what I mean? Wafts of it and stuff, but yeah, 6 hours, yeah, you still do. Smells fantastic. Yeah, but as I say, that minty Sprite, you know, the bergamot and the lemon and the mint, that's where that comes from. There's like mandarin orange and that in there too. The fresh out of the shower sort of feel that I was referring to comes from the lavender that's in there. You think you've got things like patchouli and there's ambrox and possibly sandalwood and whatever else. There's cashmere in there too, and it does smell smooth, especially the longer it's been on your skin. And you can get Inspo's Mahia Legacy, for example, doesn't nail it, but sort of in that sort of ballpark. And it might actually be, just like with Percival, too expensive for what it is.
What's it going to take to make this thing worth the price tag?
But if you can pick up a tester or a partial off someone in the fragrance groups, you know, or even just try and get yourself a sample of it to try it out, it might be something that you think, wow, you know? And I think, wow. And I have no hesitation recommending it for summer because of the actual scent profile. It is quite unique, you know what I mean? It is quite unique. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's that aromatics, you know, with the lavender and you know, the earthy patchouli, the bright mint. It's what makes it versatile, because it certainly wouldn't be out of place on someone who's dressed up or casual. And that's what makes it versatile at the end of the day. Everything I'm smelling, I'm regretting spraying the boss. But yeah, I don't like it as much as Greenlee. Greenlee is my favourite freshie from Parfums de Mali, but that was in my spring list, and it always will be in my spring list. Always, always, always. But with the mint in this, you know, it sort of leans itself into even hotter weather. And out of the rest of the Parfums de Mali freshies, this is the one that I would be recommending. Need to try Castley though. That's the new release. I haven't tried that yet, and I have a feeling that it might be my new favourite because there's notes in there that I really, really enjoy. But for now, Parfums de Marly, summer, it's got to be Sedley. Okay, the 3 formal leaning scents. Now, these can be worn whenever you want. At the end of the day, if they're summer appropriate, you can wear them wherever you want. But there's one here, and I've included it because it was sent to me recently, and it's actually similar to something that's in the Versatile. In fact, very similar to something that's in the Versatile section. And at the end of the day, those Versatile fragrances are versatile, but I want you to include it somewhere because it's really good, and I need to explore more from this house, if you want to call it a house. It was sent to me by my good friend Darren Ford, and it's very similar to Wulong Cha. I've just sprayed it. It's different though, but very similar, and when you see the notes, you'll understand. But from Banana Republic, we have Vintage Green, now it doesn't smell as crisp, and it doesn't smell as clean. It smells a little bit sweeter, but by God does it smell good and classy, but so does Wulong Cha. But wow, for the price, like you can get it for like 20 quid. And I've got the notes here: green leaves, bergamot, mandarin orange, green tea, fig, jasmine, magnolia, vetiver, musk and cedar. So, you know, it's got the tea, the fig, yeah, the citrus, you know, so it is similar, but like I say, it's not as bright or as clean. You definitely wear this on a formal occasion. And I wanted to include something affordable, because at the end of the day, if you don't have money, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't choose something classy that didn't cost an arm and a leg. And this will be it. And it's not too dense that it will be, you know, choking or, you know, engulfing in hot weather. Certainly appropriate. You know, I would say it's maybe 60% similar to Wulong Cha, maybe 65, predominantly because of that tea. But yeah, really, really good. I haven't tested it out in the wild, so I can't say really what the longevity is, but like I say, I really wanted to include it because I was so surprised by it, and I really do need to explore more from Banana Republic, because this is the first thing I've smelled from them. Yeah, vintage green, really, really good. Now, anytime I talk about a formal occasion, my mind automatically goes to this scent, and if the weather allows it, it's got to be in the conversation. Platinum Egoiste from Chanel. Wow. So nice. So nice. Aromatic, bright, fresh. It's that fougere barbershop, soapy, clean, like elegant smell. You smell buttoned up when you've got this on. I actually don't think that it would work if you were dressed casually, maybe semi-formal, you know, if you were still, if you had some nice shorts on and, you know, some really nice leather sliders and a polo shirt, then maybe, you know what I mean? It's sort of semi-casual. You know, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be uncomfortable in what you're wearing if it's really, really hot. But this is fantastic. Could wear it to a wedding or any sort of, you know, summery formal occasion. It's not something that a young person would gravitate to, I don't think.
Well, you know, these kids today.
They would smell this and think, oh, I don't want to smell like my dad, because it's got that soapy clean sort of smell to it, you know what I mean? Oh, that collar's just come off. Oh, great. Just lost the collar. See, inside the cap. There we are. There is things that, you know, would be applicable to a formal occasion that young people might want to wear. In fact, the next one I'm going to talk about, probably young people would still want to wear it, but only because of the brand, I would imagine. But this, I mean, look at that. I'm gonna have to consider getting a backup bottle of this, because I don't ever want to be without this. Not that oh, it's just come off again. I can see where this is going now, I'm gonna back up bottle even more now. Get on, you bugger. Right, let's move on to the next one. Yeah. Ideal for formal occasions in the warm weather. Ideal for formal occasions in any weather, but I really do just imagine a summer wedding when I smell this. You know, it's got that typical barbershop-y, soapy lavender sort of smell, but with bright notes and facets that make it ideal for a summer event. Platinum Egoiste from Chanel, beautiful. Now the final fragrance, it's just class in a glass, class in a glass bottle. I'm talking about Xerjoff Nio from the Shooting Stars range. It's a bright and vibrant smell with the neroli and bergamot. You've got like spices in here, cardamom and nutmeg, along with green notes, because it is a very green smelling fragrance with woods and stuff, and you know. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it might smell a bit too mature for the youngest of audiences. I can't imagine that somebody really young would gravitate to this. But, you know, I think that the things that somebody really young would choose to wear at a formal event probably wouldn't be the most formal smelling of things. And that's just the way my mind works, I guess. The spices in here, the nutmeg and the cardamom, they make it a bit more of a roller coaster ride, you know what I mean? Because it does open up bright and with the neroli and the green notes, but as it starts to open up, then those spices kind of make it a bit more interesting. But it's a fresh spice, you know what I mean? It's not something that makes it thick or overwhelming. It's elegant, it dances, it's a fantastic buttoned up fragrance for the warm weather. I love this. It's probably one of my favorite freshies, and as I said, I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing it casually. Fantastic. From the house of Xerjoff Nio. So that'll about do it, guys. It's another long one, but I have gone over 11 fragrances, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to me waffle on about them. Try to cover all bases, but there's many more I could have included in this. And as I said, I will do a summer cheapies video, but for now, that'll do from me. So if you're enjoying the content so far, especially this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, make sure you hit the bell notification icon so that you can be notified next time I upload some scented nonsense. So until next time, guys, take care, keep smelling good, I'll see you again.